welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel Davies and I'm a mama to 3 little ones. If you are new around here, I'd absolutely love it if you would subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video. Today I'm going to be talking about self-care and motivation during lockdown. So I've written down 10 things to share with you today, things that I think really do help me and make sure that not only am I keeping motivated during lockdown, but also making sure I'm taking care of myself, because I do think that's really important. So let's get straight to it. So number 1 would be, when you get up in the morning, make sure the first thing that you do is make your bed. And if you can, get dressed, get your hair done, get your makeup done, whatever it is that you would usually do in the morning if you had somewhere to go. I find getting up, getting motivated, making sure I'm dressed, making sure that my hair's done, my face is done, whatever I usually do if I was heading out somewhere, makes me feel more motivated. Then I head downstairs, get myself a coffee, and I'm ready to crack on for the day. Tip number 2 would be to write down a list of things that you want to get done that day. They could just be small tasks. Obviously, during lockdown, I feel like people shouldn't expect too much of themselves. It's a really, really stressful, difficult time for everybody. But if you're not feeling very motivated and you feel like sometimes you're kind of stuck in a bit of a funk and you don't really know what to do, just jotting down a few simple tasks to complete that day can be really, really helpful. Jot them down and tick them off as you make your way through them, and then by the end of the day you'll feel like you've really completed something, and things like it that are going around in your head that you need to get done are completed. Also, I find if on your to-do list is things like cleaning, a great way to get yourself motivated is to put some music on. Put your favourite music on really, really loud, and then get your cleaning stuff out and go for it. Sometimes I find that getting the motivation to actually start doing something is the hard part, but once you start doing it, you feel good, you feel motivated. But yeah, music is a major motivator. Like, it really, really helps me get going. And obviously, as you're going around, you can have a little jig, lifts your spirits, lifts your mood, and that's what it's all about. Tip number 3 is making sure you find time for yourself. I think it's really, really important to look after yourself and your own physical and mental well-being. So finding little snippets and pockets of the time in the day can be really, really helpful to maintain that. So things that I tend to practice is, you know, just taking 5 minutes out for a nice coffee, a nice cup of tea, and just having some quiet time. Taking a bath in the evening can be so nice. You can really, really make it a proper like pamper night. You can put out some candles, lay out your face masks. Epsom salts are absolutely amazing. They can reduce stress, reduce anxiety, pains and aches. They've got loads of benefits, so just putting a load of that in your bath as well, and some essential oils. Everybody knows essential oils are amazing and they smell amazing too. So just doing things like that can really, really help. And then when you get out the bath, make sure you've laid yourself out some really nice like comfy PJs, some snuggly socks. Maybe even put them on the radiator, so when you get out they're lovely, nice and warm, and you can get into them and you just feel really, really good. It only takes like half an hour to do something like that, but it can make you feel really good and set you up for a good few days. I know I find, since being a mama to 3, it can be really difficult to find these snippets of time in the day, but I just make sure I do, whether the children are napping, whether they're having some quiet time, whether they're in bed and my husband's like looking after them, whatever it may be. I find just having that time really, really sets me up for the next day. It makes me feel better, it makes me feel good, and it just gives my brain just time to just calm and relax. Tip number 4 is eat well and stay hydrated. Now this may seem completely obvious, but I don't know about anyone else. Does anyone sometimes get to like 2 p.m. in the afternoon and you're like, oh my God, I've not really drank anything today? Or sometimes I'll just reach for snacks all day and I won't be eating like nice wholesome meals. And I think during lockdown that's really important, because maybe when you're quite bored and you're spending a lot of time at home, it's so easy to just go and open the cupboard or go and open the fridge and grab some snacks. So maybe even writing it down, like what you're going to have for breakfast, what you're going to have for lunch, what you're going to have for dinner, and then a few little snacks in between. I think that's really important. And obviously hydration, 8 to 10 glasses of water every day. Like, it doesn't seem a lot, but for me personally, I find it really, really difficult to keep up with that. I'm breastfeeding as well, so it is really important for me to do that, but I do find it difficult. I actually purchased one of the Hydrate Mate bottles. I don't know if you've heard of those. but it's got like times on it that you should like have drank a certain amount, and I do find that really helpful. What I tend to do is have 1 in the morning and try and fit in 2 in the afternoon, and I feel like that makes me drink more. Tip number 5 would be try and make sure you get outdoors every day. I don't know about you, but when my anxiety is high or I'm feeling a bit low, I can find it quite difficult to find the motivation to get out. But once I get out and I get out walking and I get moving, it really helps me feel good and I feel better for it. So that's definitely something that I would 100% recommend doing. Also, going out and doing a bit of exercise releases endorphins as well and just makes you feel much better. Tip number 6 would be spend some time away from social media. I find that lately Facebook and apps like that are sharing a lot of negative news, and a lot of people are obviously going through the lockdown situation. They're sharing a lot of articles and some of them are really, really kind of depressing. And I found that when I was scrolling through Facebook, every other post was just really, really negative and made me feel quite low, and some made me feel really anxious. So spending some time away from some social media can be really, really helpful. It helps clear your mind and just makes you focus on what's going on in your life and what's going on around you. It gives you that extra time with your children and things like that. I know personally when I'm feeling quite anxious and quite low, I can like habitually just spend time scrolling on Facebook, and I know it's terrible, but I know I'm not the only one that does it. So spending some time away from Facebook can be really, really good, and it just breaks that habit. And also I find watching the news isn't helpful. I know when lockdown first started, me and my husband would watch it literally every day religiously. I think it was like the 5 p.m. when Boris came on to do his announcements. We'd roll to the sofa dead quick to find out what was going on. But obviously this time around we're just trying to stay more relaxed about it and trying not to keep our head in the media and the news and see what's going on, because there's so much doom and gloom. And I feel like if you focus, like if you're feeling quite anxious and you focus on what's going on in the news, it's just not going to lift your mood. And I just find that not watching the news can be really, really helpful and keeps your spirits lifted instead of bringing it back down. Particularly if you've had a really, really nice day and then you put the news on at 6 o'clock and it's just all negative and you don't always want to hear it. So just be mindful of that and try and keep the news and the media to a minimum. Tip number 7 is to binge on something on Netflix or Prime or whatever it is that you have. Find something that really interests you, whether it's funny or whether it's a crime and gets you gripped into it. Just find something that frees your mind from everything that's going on, and you just focus on that for a little bit, which can be really, really helpful because it just stops your mind thinking about everything that's going on and everything that you need to do. And also when you do get stuck into something and you start watching something and you're enjoying it, put your phone down. I know it's really, really hard if it's going off or people are messaging you, but just taking that time to focus on something and watch something without your phone is really important. Tip number 8 is do a workout. Now I completely understand that during lockdown and with everything going on, the workout is the last thing on your mind. However, it can be really, really fun to get not just yourself but the children moving. What we usually do is we put on a workout on like YouTube or something, turn the music up really, really high, and the kids just kind of copy what we do, and they sometimes copy what's going on the TV, and we all just have a laugh. It releases endorphins, we burn some calories, we all have some fun. So I feel like that's a really, really good way to keep your spirits lifted. Number 9 is keeping in contact with friends and family. Like, this may seem completely obvious, but myself, I suffer with anxiety quite badly. And when I'm going through quite a low stage and a low mood, one of the things that I kind of do is withdraw myself from people, and I don't message as much. And when I do message back, I feel like my message is a little bit shorter than they usually would be. Whereas I feel like what you need to kind of force yourself to do is stay in contact with people, check in with people, see how they are, let them ask you how you are, get some things off your chest if you want to talk about stuff. I just feel like it's really, really helpful, particularly if you're a mum. The 4 walls of your home can seem so isolating, and it's weird because you feel lonely and you want to get out, but then when you get out you don't want to be out. That's kind of how I feel a lot, especially lately with the lockdown situation. So I feel like staying in touch with your close friends is really, really important. Checking in on your family, seeing how people are coping, and sometimes it's just really nice to just send someone a message that you really appreciate and just tell them that, like, I really appreciate you being my friend, I really, really appreciate you being there for me, I love you. You know, I just think it's really, really nice, and it's such a you know, sad time at the moment, so spreading the love is the way forward for sure. And tip number 10, last but not least, is empty your head before you go to bed. My friend told me about this, and you know what, it is so helpful. So you just get a notepad in the evening and you write down anything that is in your head. So whether it's something that you need to get done tomorrow, a phone call you need to make, you know, a money transfer you need to make, whatever it is, or even just worries. If you've got some worries in your head and you know you can't change them, but they're in your head and they're circling, you can't stop thinking about it, just writing it down can be really, really helpful. And you can go to bed with more of a clear mind. You've got your list for the morning. If it's like to-do lists and things that you know you need to get done, they're there ready for you in the morning. If it's worries, you can write them down, and you can sometimes even jot next to it like, there's actually nothing I can do about this right now, so I'm gonna try not to worry about it. If it's something that you worry about but you can fix, then maybe get up tomorrow, the following morning, and try and sort it, try and fix it, whatever it might be. Just do anything to preserve your mental and physical well-being during this time. It is so difficult, I completely understand that. It's so hard, but just taking steps with self-care can be so helpful for looking after yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos of this kind of thing, please do let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, I'd absolutely love you to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.